is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
Storm Team 6 continues to track the threat for severe weather. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Nicole Griffin. You see the storms moving through central Indiana on our radar. And this is a live look right now from our RTV6 tower camera in downtown Indianapolis. Storm Team 6 meteorologists Kevin Gregory and Kyle Mounds have been busy all night tracking this storm system. We begin first tonight with Kevin.
And Nicole, we are a state divided. Eastern Indiana still with the damaging wind threat. Here's our latest report in the Geist area. McCordsville, a 69-mile-per-hour measured wind gust. The warnings from Newcastle up to Muncie, then toward Portland in Jay County. That's where the strongest winds will be here with the storms. Estimate gusts could reach 70 miles per hour. This is what I mean by a state divided. Still active with a severe threat. Eastern Indiana getting a break from thunderstorms in the western portion of the state. Heads up Portland, Winchester, Economy, anywhere northeast of Newcastle, east of Muncie. That's where the winds will be strongest through Albany, Farmland, and then eventually along 27 there. From North Vernon to Greensburg up to Shelbyville, heavy rainfall there as well. Flash flooding has been an issue from Boone County east all the way into Delaware County. Some spots have had 3 inches of rainfall. These are all the reports, mainly of hail, but recently of some damaging wind gusts. There are rainfall estimates anywhere from 2 to 4 inches across central Indiana. Kyle?
And Kevin, we don't have any watches in effect, but still technically that slight to enhanced risk of severe weather across central Indiana. Although Kevin and I have been talking, thinking that severe weather threat is starting to wane. So you can see that from earlier in the evening, we've really kind of dialed back that tornado and wind gust threat. Still could see some flooding conditions out there and some isolated warnings as that line of thunderstorms continues to progress off toward the east and southeast. As we get just beyond the midnight hour, I think we are going to be fairly quiet. That said, getting ready to head to bed, make sure you've got that Storm Shield app on your phone ready to go in case we do have some additional warnings that are issued for your location. And you'll also have that radar right at your fingertips. Things are going to be breezy and cooler in our Sunday forecast. More on that in just a few minutes.
Kevin and Kyle, at this hour, IPL reports more than 3,400 customers without power. A majority of those are in the Mooresville area. IPL does not give an estimation on when the power could be back on. Tonight, the other big story is the growing number of cases of coronavirus in the Hoosier state. The latest numbers from the state health department show more than 1,200 cases of COVID-19. 31 people have died from the virus. The state health department says 584 of those cases are here in Marion County. More than 8,400 people have been tested. Tonight, President Trump is directing the CDC to issue travel guidelines to New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut as those states deal with a surge of COVID-19 cases. As ABC's Ty Hernandez reports, this after the president considered implementing a federal quarantine, potentially impacting more than 30 million people.
A potential new strategy by the Trump administration to slow the spread of the coronavirus. A quarantine of New York State, New Jersey, and Connecticut, states close to the epicenter of the crisis. President Trump saying this.
There's a possibility that sometime today we'll do a quarantine, short-term, 2 weeks on New York. Probably New Jersey, certain parts, and Connecticut.
The proposed order could affect the tri-state's more than 30 million residents. New York's Governor Andrew Cuomo caught off guard.
I don't even know what that means. I don't know how that could be legally enforceable. And from a medical point of view, I don't know what you would be accomplishing. But
late Saturday, President Trump tweeted that a federal quarantine would not be necessary. And he's asked the CDC to issue a strong travel advisory for those states for the governors to implement. In Louisiana, another hot spot, more than 3,000 cases, at least 130 people dead. The president says several other states like South Carolina, Texas, Maryland, and Florida are ordering visitors traveling from New York and Louisiana to quarantine for 14 days. Rhode Island going a step further, deploying the National Guard to train stations, checking passengers' tickets, and getting their information to make sure they self-quarantine.
Folks from New York present a different kind of danger to the people of Rhode Island. I know this is unusual. I know it's extreme. And I know some people don't agree with it.
More than 90% of mayors from across the country saying they don't have enough masks or test kits. Illinois with more than 450 new cases and at least 13 deaths, including an infant.
If you haven't been paying attention, maybe this is your wake-up call.
A naval hospital ship, the USNS Comfort, now on its way to New York City. Another, the Mercy, sitting off the coast of Los Angeles, already admitting non-COVID-19 patients. Ty Hernandez, ABC News, New York.
Ty, thank you. Tonight, a local food pantry is working together to make sure no family goes without while sheltering in place to slow the spread of COVID-19. RTV6's Troy Washington is working for you to explain how this church pantry has changed their approach but hasn't changed their mission.
Shelves are empty in some grocery stores and toilet tissue can be hard to find in some places. But at the Northside Ministry Food Pantry, families in need don't have to look any further.
We're still providing toilet paper, dish soap, and laundry soap.
The essentials some just can't get their hands on otherwise because of COVID-19, found right here at Second Presbyterian Church on Meridian. Right now, the pantry is doing things a little differently. Instead of allowing the families to go in and shop for themselves, volunteers are coming out to the cars, getting a list of their needs, and then working hard to fulfill that request.
We make them stay in their vehicles, and then we shop inside.
In fact, Lisa Enright was busy helping families when we talked to her over FaceTime.
We load their product in the car, just trying to keep everybody safe and distanced apart. And we have cleaning supplies inside. We are washing our hands constantly. We're wearing gloves.
The COVID-19 pandemic has led to a lot of people losing their jobs, leaving them stuck. The pantry is a solution for those families just trying to make it.
We are seeing a lot of new families, a lot of people that are out of work, just trying to find food.
Senior citizen volunteers used to greet families, but now it's young people who are loading up.
An uptick in our young volunteers, which is awesome because they're home and available to help us.
Working together when it counts to do their part to slow the spread of the virus while making sure no family goes without. Working for you in Washington Township, Troy Washington, RTV6.
Troy, thank you. RTV6 is putting the focus on people working together during the coronavirus pandemic. And tonight, a local couple says they haven't had anyone book their Airbnb near downtown Indianapolis for weeks. So instead of letting it sit empty, they are reaching out to healthcare workers in need.
The coronavirus outbreak is causing a major impact on those who host Airbnbs. What could have been a busy month is ending with virtually no business for this Indianapolis couple.
The business has been wiped out because there's no traveling, there's no events, there's no restaurants.
Jax Von Leary and his husband Michael Hoster estimate they are out around $2,000 this month alone. So instead of letting their Holy Cross apartment sit empty, they made this Facebook post. It says they know there are doctors and nurses that are busy saving lives, and they want to offer their apartment to any healthcare worker that needs a safe place to stay for free.
The stories that they were telling us, they were so heartbreaking that we got very overwhelmed. There is nurses that they are sleeping in their cars.
I was planning on just staying at the hospital through the weekend, and it was nice to be able to get out and go somewhere else and kind of just decompress.
Allison Eisenhower is an x-ray tech for IU Health. On Tuesday, she found out she was exposed to a person who had contact with a positive COVID-19 patient. She's been advised not to go home. Her son Adam has leukemia and had a stem cell transplant in June of last year.
I can't mess that up. If I were to go home and something were to happen to him, whether it was my fault or not, I would never let myself let it down.
So while her husband takes care of the kid, she now has a safe place to spend the weekend before returning to work on Monday.
I'm really glad that others will be able to have this moment as well because it's needed. I was tired when I got here yesterday. My legs hurt. And I was just mentally worn out.
Airbnb is currently helping 100,000 COVID-19 responders by connecting healthcare providers, relief workers, and first responders with clean, convenient places to stay.
Just knowing the need out there, and I'm hoping that someone will watch this, and want to help too.
Tonight, heartbreaking new details in a deadly fire we first told you about at 6 o'clock. State police say 6 people have died in a fire in Vevey, that's in Switzerland County. Investigators say the fire started around 3 o'clock this morning. The identities of those killed have not been released. State police say it may be some time before they learn the cause of the fire. Neighbors say they heard the screams and tried to run in to help, but the flames forced them back.
Just couldn't, and you want to storm in there and go and grab them, drag them out, and you just couldn't.
The whole house is, was involved in the fire, and it's just going to be a long process of going through the scene and determining what may have caused this fire. I mean, that's our main goal. It's a tragic situation for everybody involved. We know what the families are dealing with, and it's our goal that we work as long as as it takes to determine what caused this, so we can provide some kind of closure to the families.
One man did escape the burning home safely after the fire started. Tonight, the state fire marshal says the fire does not appear suspicious. Tonight, a man is fighting for his life after being hit on Rural Street near Kessler Boulevard. Police say he was walking near the intersection when he was hit. The victim was rushed to the hospital in critical condition. Police say the driver stayed on the scene. In Beech Grove, police are searching for answers in 2 death investigations. Police say a man and a woman were found dead in close proximity to each other. Investigators say a passerby found the man around 9:30 this morning in a ditch off South Emerson Avenue near I-465. Then about 2 hours later, the woman was found dead in a room at the Days Inn. Tonight, police say they are still working to learn if these 2 deaths are related. Tonight, a boil water advisory is in effect for some residents on the city's south side. The order is a result of a water main break near Stop 11 Road and Emerson Avenue. The boil order is in effect for those north of County Line Road and west of I-74. It also impacts customers east of I-65 north to Edgewood Avenue. If you live in those areas, you are asked to boil your water for 48 hours or until the order is lifted. Repairs to the water main are expected to be complete by 10 o'clock tonight. Kyle.
And we have a newly issued tornado warning, including portions of Jay County around the Red Key area. A storm capable of producing a tornado. That until 11:30, the tornado warning. So you need to be getting to that lowest interior level of your home. Surrounding areas back through Muncie and Newcastle. It is severe thunderstorm warnings for some strong and gusty winds. Kevin and I will continue to track those storms. You're watching RTV6 News at 11.
Beautiful jeweler. This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
With lots of people at home, closets and garages are being cleaned out, which often means a trip to Goodwill to donate those items. Photojournalist Brad Forrestal spoke with the president and CEO on what they're doing and how you can help them.
So you finally got around to clearing out that clutter and getting some space back from the stuff that you don't use or wear. Donating those items can help so many people in so many ways. But with the current crisis, Goodwill of Central and Southern Indiana is asking for your help and patience.
If you can hold on to things for a little while and bring them back in when all this loosens up, that's great. But no, if you do drop them off, we're going to do our best to protect them and get them inside and process them at a later date.
The stores are still accepting donations while the retail side of the operation is closed. But if you can't wait to purge your items, you can expect a little different flow to that procedure.
When you come up to a Goodwill, you're going to notice that there's not an attendant there, and we have a box in each site. There's not a face-to-face interaction, but once those donations are dropped off, we'll come outside and bring those donations inside, and just trying to be the best stewards we can of what people are giving us.
The Goodwill stores employs more than 3,000 people, many of them with employment barriers, and operates 16 high schools and many training services. Without those registers ringing, they have had to furlough 2,500 employees and suspend some of their programs. Fortunately, their foundation is matching financial donations up to $500,000.
Goodwill has always been blessed with household goods and clothing, but right now, in this time of need, financial donations are very helpful too. And with this matching fund from our foundation board, and we're able to provide more opportunities to help people.
And the stores can't wait to have shoppers back to pop some tags.
Goodwill is going to be a wonderful place for people to come in and shop. People might be a little more budget conscious. People are going to be possibly doing interviews and needing clothes, and it's just going to be, we're going to be ready for them when it does happen.
Brad Forrestal, RTV6.
Brad, thank you. Tonight, frightening moments in Jonesboro, Arkansas, as a massive tornado moved through the area. The storm was even caught strengthening on a traffic camera. First responders in the area report trees down and cars flipped over. Jonesboro police report at least 6 injuries. Their severity has not been released, and at this hour, the area is under a state of emergency and a curfew. Storm Team 6 is tracking the threat for severe weather across central Indiana. For the latest, we need to get straight to Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory and meteorologist Kyle Mounts. Kevin.
And Nicole, the strongest storms now moving along the Ohio state line. And just want to show you this storm capable of producing a tornado located near Portland now along 26 and 27. It is moving quickly to the northeast at about 60 miles per hour. That's why the warning just until the bottom of the hour. Seek shelter immediately if you live anywhere in southern Jay County, and especially from Portland to the east to the state line. That's why you're should hear outdoor warning sirens. Perhaps if you have your Storm Shield app, that would alert you like a weather radio to the warnings. There are the storms from Portland to Winchester down to Cambridge City and Newcastle. Any of these may contain some damaging wind as well. Look what we don't have. In the western portion of the state, you can see much calmer now. There is one more little line with the actual cold front that sits in Illinois. We'll follow that tonight, but that's unlikely to produce additional severe weather. This is likely to happen. 74 was our high today. We're in transition now, these thunderstorms, to much cooler air tomorrow. Where are we in the transition? Kyle has the latest.
And Kevin, you mentioned that cold front back in Illinois. There's that little bit of shower activity. So we are still on the warm side of everything with temperatures in the 60s and still the 70s. 73 right now in Lafayette. It is 72 in Columbus, and there's that line of thunderstorms. So as we put the temperatures with TrueCast here, we get to 1 o'clock in the morning, still may have a few additional thunderstorms. Temperatures still in the middle 60s there. As we go through the overnight, the rain will be moving out of central Indiana. We are dry by tomorrow morning as we start off with temperatures in the lower to middle 50s for us. And as we go throughout our Sunday, a mix of sun and clouds. Temperatures may actually continue to fall a little bit here as we go into the early afternoon before they rebound a bit, heading back into the middle and upper 50s. But look at that steady wind, about 25 miles per hour. We're going to have some higher gusts, and that's why a wind advisory is in effect from 8 o'clock tomorrow morning through 8 o'clock in the evening for much of central Indiana, as we could see those gusts through much of the day around 30 miles per hour. But as we get into the afternoon, we could see those gusts approaching 50 miles per hour. So if you have any loose items outside, want to make sure that they are secure or brought in. Temperature-wise, we'll make that afternoon rally to get back to around 56 for you in Peru, which is pretty seasonal for this time of year. Lower 60s in Columbus and 57 degrees in the Muncie area. So we've got the mild air, but we are going to get a little bit of a chill here going into early part of next week. We'll go from about 57 for the high on Monday to just 46 degrees on Tuesday. Looks like most of the rain will stay to the south, so we'll be on the cool side of that system, but we should be dry. 51 on Wednesday, so it won't take us too long for those temperatures to start to rebound in the 7-day planning forecast. Good news is, after all of the rain that we've had today, and some areas have had over 3 inches of rainfall, looks like things are going to be fairly quiet and dry here as we go into the early part of the week. Some chilly overnights as we get those temperatures into the 30s both Tuesday and Wednesday morning, and there's that chilly afternoon high on Tuesday with the cloud cover. But as we go through the rest of the week, we've got highs getting back into the 60s on Thursday and Friday. Friday bringing in that next chance for some rain, and looking ahead to next weekend, not too bad on Saturday. Right now it should be dry and highs in the middle 50s, Nicole.
All right, Kyle, thank you. Well, RTV6's Hiring Hoosiers initiative is always committed to connecting you to job opportunities and resources. And right now, that mission is even more urgent than ever as unemployment skyrockets amid the COVID-19 outbreak. We're learning more about a facility in Noblesville that's hiring aggressively. 5-Star Senior Living is looking to hire about 20 people, from certified nursing assistants to cooks and servers.
You know, there's a lot of restaurants that have closed down, and those restaurants are only doing carry-out. So we really want to reach out to those servers because we have availability in our dining areas.
If you have a passion for taking care of senior citizens, go to hiringhoosiers.com to learn more about these positions. Tonight, several Indy businesses in the heart of downtown want you to know they are open for business. Our Brad Brown takes you inside when we come back. The RTV6 app.
RTV6 working for you.
Welcome back. This week, we've been shining a spotlight on some area restaurants staying open during the COVID-19 pandemic. Downtown Indy's City Market has several vendors still taking orders. As our Brad Brown reports, some of them are teaming up for a unique customer service option.
Without the daily bustle of downtown, the vendors that are open inside Indianapolis City Market have had to come up with ways to keep business going. The result? Teaming up for a cooperative effort to get food where it needs to go.
I was doing it just for me, and I told a few people about it, and they're like, well, can we jump on it? So it became our little City Market website.
Mike Gomez of Gomez Barbecue spearheaded the effort. His restaurant's website is now a hub to order from more than a half dozen City Market restaurants. And every day, Mike himself is ready to make the deliveries.
One of the customers wouldn't come out of the door, and I said, that's fine, no worries. And he sent me a message immediately after. That was so awkward. I'm sorry I didn't come out. And I was like, it's okay, dude, no worries. I understand completely. Like, just put a box out and we'll drop it off next week if you want some next week.
We've been leaving an envelope taped on the door, and then we just leave it at their doorstop and ring the doorbell and run. So just kind of coming up with creative ways. It's amazing how something like this will make you get very creative in how to stay in business.
Each day of the week, a different neighborhood is on the schedule. But in times like this, the crews here are ready to make it happen any day they can.
It's absolutely a very supportive atmosphere and environment right now. We're all trying to make sure that we all see each other and remain in business through this.
Check out the deliveries. Go to the places you love that are still delivering and still doing curbside.
So until you can once again come to the market, for now, a bit of the market can come to you. Working for you downtown, Brad Brown, RTV6.
Brad, thank you. Head to our website, theindychannel.com. It is up right now on your screen. When you are there, you will see an entire list of restaurants and other businesses that are still open to serve you. We'll check back in with Storm Team 6 for one final check of your forecast right after this break. The coronavirus may have delayed the 2020 IndyCar season from getting started on time, but it's not stopping drivers from taking to the track virtually, of course. 25 drivers, including Joseph Newgarden, Simon Pagenaud, and Tony Kanaan, participating in the iRacing IndyCar Challenge. That's a virtual competition using a racing simulator. The race at Watkins Glen also includes special guest NASCAR driver Jimmy Johnson and IndyCar driver Robert Wickens. Today's race was the first of 6 to be held through May 2nd. Sage Karam won this afternoon's race, and next week the teams will take a virtual trip to Barber Motorsports Park for a virtual race. This looks so real, Kyle.
It does. You'd think that you were watching a live one there downtown or around the Speedway, right? Okay, as we check out the warnings, you can see the good news here. The tornado warning has been dropped or allowed to expire there around the Portland area. The only thunderstorm warning we have, including Winchester here, for about the next half hour. Still could have some gusty winds there. You see the back edge of that line of showers and thunderstorms will continue to scoot east. Just an isolated wind gust severe weather threat with that one. We'll continue to watch this line of storms back in Illinois, but it continues to decrease in intensity as well. 7-day planning forecast shows that things will be a little cooler heading into tomorrow.
All right, Kyle, thank you. And thank you so much for joining us. Have a great night. See you tomorrow.